Hello, godly play children, abiding love. I miss seeing you at church so much, but I do have a new way of sharing a story with you right here from my very own backyard. You will get to hear the first 3 stories of the Faces of Easter in this video. Are you ready? We're in the color of purple. In the beginning, the baby was born. And God chose Mary to be the mother of God. Listen carefully to these words. God chose Mary to be the mother of God. And the Word was born, a wordless child. Now, when the baby looked up into the face of the Mother Mary, he saw that the cross was already there. When the baby looked up into the face of Father Joseph, he saw the cross there too. The Mother Mary and the Father Joseph held the baby close. They kept the baby warm. They gave the baby everything that he needed, and the baby grew. Now, I wonder if you have something around your house you could bring that helps tell more of this part of the story. I looked around my house, and I found an old Christmas present lying around. And this reminds me of this part of the story because at Christmas, when the baby Jesus was born, it was a very special gift. So I'm going to put it right here next to this part of the story. The baby grew and became a boy. And when he was about 12 years old, he went with his mother Mary and his father Joseph and many of the other people from their village in Nazareth to the great city of Jerusalem to keep one of the high holy days. When the celebration was over, they headed on back down the road back to Nazareth. Then, suddenly, Mary and Joseph realized that Jesus was not there. They thought that he had been playing with the other children from the village as they walked. They hurried back to the great city of Jerusalem to find him. They looked down the long, narrow roads. They looked in the marketplace where they had bought their food. They looked in the place where they had spent the night. They looked and they looked for 3 days and 3 nights. Then finally they even looked in the temple, and there he was, talking to the priests of the temple. They were listening so closely when Jesus spoke, for he knew so much. And Jesus was listening to the priests so carefully, for he wanted to learn more. And then Mary and Joseph asked Jesus the same question that all parents ask their children, the one that you can never answer. They said, "Why did you do this?" And Jesus said, "Didn't you know I would be in my Father's house?" Mary and Joseph didn't understand. Their house was back in Nazareth, where Joseph's carpenter shop was. They didn't understand, yet they never forgot. Now I wonder if there's something you can find around your house that helps tell more of this part of the story. I found and brought from our Godly Playroom this book of the Good Shepherd, the one that I read to my littles every Sunday. This story reminds me of this part of the Faces of Easter story because just like Jesus was lost in Jerusalem and his parents went back to find him, the Good Shepherd went back to find the lost sheep. If you'd like to pause the video and go look around your house for something to bring to add to this part of the story, you may. Jesus grew and became a man. When he was about 30 years old, he went to the river Jordan, where his cousin, John the Baptist, was baptizing people. Jesus waded out into the water and came face to face with John. Can you see John here in the picture? Maybe just a little bit of the back of his head. He was a wild one. But when Jesus waded out into the water and came face to face with John, John looked at Jesus as if he had never seen him before, as if it was the first time. And now he saw Jesus for who he really was. And John said, "Me baptize you? You are the Messiah, the one we have been waiting for. You should baptize me." And Jesus said, "No, it is written that you will go before me and prepare the way. Baptize me." And Jesus went down into the darkness and the chaos of the water. But when John lifted him out of the water back into the light, there were people there that say they saw a dove come down from heaven and come so close to Jesus' head. There were also people there that day that heard a great voice from the heavens say, "You are my beloved Son, with whom I am pleased." After Jesus was baptized, he went on across the river Jordan and into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. This was a time for Jesus to get to know who he really was and learn more about the work that he would do. I wonder if you can find something in your house that tells more about this part of the story. In my house, I found this blanket from Zoe's baptism. Feel free to pause the video and go find something and bring it that helps tell more of this part of the story. So in another video, you will get to hear more stories of the faces of Easter. But for now, know that I love you and I miss you. You're a precious child of God. Jesus loves you and I love you. God bless you.